Right, just a bit on our left hand side, we've got our red leopard. Right, now these guys are very, very timid, very shy, and they share the same area of savannah as the Epsilon Waterbuck. Now if you look at the Epsilon Waterbuck, which I'll point out to you in a minute, you'll see that they're actually very, very similar features, and they're just a little bit larger. Now this young lady here is an eland. Now both the males and the females have horns. Right, as you can see, these things here, she doesn't like having them touched, she doesn't like being touched. They only like the food. Right, now if you look at underneath their neck, they've got what looks like a flopper skin. And what that is that's called a dewlap. And in the summer, what it does is it helps to keep them cool. Now we've had 4 or 5 miracle birds this year. The miracle being that we thought the male was castrated. Yep. Yeah, oh yes, it's definitely a miracle. We are yet to find out who it is, but there they all are, the babies, on the right hand side up there. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, miss a few, 9,900. There's hundreds of them. So he's been a busy boy, bless him.
There's the dinosaurs where you can walk.
Oh, that's right. Am they real?
They're the models.
Are you sure? Because they look very real to me.
Peter, they're real. They're real dinosaurs.
Alright, these are our female red leopard. Right, very, 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 very nervy. Some of them have started to come and have food off you. That one up there, the male, you can see his horns, he has actually started to come to the car for a little bit of food. We can attempt it. They remind me of little wheelbarrows because their back legs are longer than their front. Those are the Epsilon Waterbuck in there, and if you can just see their faces, can you see that heart-shaped nose again? Very, very similar, but a little bit taller and a little bit darker. Hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 of them up and about when we come out. It's nice and warm in there, they've got the heaters on in there, so. And just here on our left hand side we've got our Congo buffalo. Now these guys have decided they're staying in today because it's a little bit damp and cold for them. And these guys, like the name suggests, they come from the Congo. Right, now in their summertime what they do is they spend about 6 months of the year in the woods because it is so very, very hot. And they will eat the woods and the brambles and all that sort of stuff. And then when it's their winter time, they come out and they'll feed on the grasses for around about 6 months. But as you can see, their houses have got heaters because they have come from a very hot climate. We do try our best to keep them warm. And then it's up to them whether they want to come out or not. Okay, then these guys in here, these are our 2 males here. Now we've got 2 beautiful males, and these are the males with their antlers on. I'm still waiting for their antlers to come off, to be fair.
Wow, so nice.
But these are our main 2 males. Right now, 30-40 years ago, these guys were actually thought to be extinct, completely extinct. Yeah, and a very small herd was found and immediately distributed throughout as many zoos and parks as we could possibly distribute them through. And so far, so good. We've had quite a good breeding program going on. We had 5 babies born last year, so we're doing well. I think we've got 1 or 2 females that are due to produce any time now as well. So this is one of our youngsters, one of our males. He's about 2 years old, bless him. As you can see, he's only got little tiny antlers. Unfortunately, you have to get it from the. Oh, he's left it in the car. Oh dear. Okay, then these guys here are our ladies. Right, now these these ladies here are fully grown adult females. And as you can see, this one just over here, these are last year's babies. So they are growing, they are getting on with it. And they're very, very intelligent. They know when the gates are open and when they're not, and they're really naughty. They like to try and get through the gates. Right, and this is our first area of carnivores, so we do need to close our windows. Right. Now they're a very young pack. There is an alpha male, and unlike most packs where there's an alpha male, he's not a dominant alpha male, so he's quite happy to share the food, and he doesn't chase the ladies around too much. Now there is usually one young lady that loves to sleep at the bottom on the left hand side. I don't know whether she's up and about or whether she's still down there. She was down there when I did my last tour. No, it looks like she's up and about. This is the first time in a fortnight that I haven't had to de-ice the bus. Right, and just here on our right hand side, closest to us, these are our Persian fallow deer. Sorry, just past the Persian fallows, haven't we? These are our Philippine spotted deers. Now these are the rarest deers you're ever going to see. Now these guys are owned by the Philippine government, very much like the pandas are in China. We are allowed to have them and to breed from them, but they will always be the property of the Philippine government. And these guys are insured for around about £1 million.
Wow.
They're in that little enclosure in there for their own safety. Oh yeah. No, it's so that the other they don't get injured by any of the other animals or hit by a car or anything like that, which has happened over the years. Right, now they are very small. And they look like they're still growing, but they're actually fully grown. They're the smallest buffalo in the world. I'm hoping they'll still be out when they come round so you get a proper look at them. And he's our Indian rhino, bless him. And he looks like he's wearing a suit of armour, but all that is baggy skin. He's got more skin than body. Right, if you look at his face, he's got a very narrow face, bless him. He's only got one horn. Right, and his little nose is very, very narrow. And his skin, although it looks rough and tough, is actually very, very sensitive, which is why they need the wallows. Right, they use the wallows to help keep themselves cool in the summer.
It's called a rhino.
It is. It's an Indian rhino, this one is, my darling.
Yes, but...
Can you see them over here? These are the two females. This is Saito and Sananda.
Yes, but they go like a race car around here.
They do. Do you know these rhinos can run about 30 kilometres an hour?
Yeah.
That's very fast for something so big.
Yes, but when they get even bigger, that looks like a big potato.
Does she? A big potato. Do we need to put her on a diet?
Yeah.
Right, and like Rat, they've got a wallow as well. And they use that to protect their skin from the UV rays. And
when it gets even hotter, the skin will come off.
Oh no, the skin doesn't come off, my darling. They get in the mud and they roll around in the mud to try and keep themselves cool. Okay, then these guys here are Blackbuck. Right, now these are the females. We have one male that's further up the top, and I'll point him out when we see him. Now, as you can see, these guys are very, very young. Can you see the youngsters? Now we've only got one male, one breeding male, because these guys produce so quickly that we'd be completely overrun if we allowed the other males to breed as well. You see this little baby one here? This one's about a month old. Oh, having a bit of a spring. Now that one there's about three weeks old. Is the little tiny one.
Oh, that's
And they are
cute.
very, very nervy. They do like to come to the car for a bit of a feed.
That's very, very
Little tiny
cute.
one here.
That tiny one is very cute.
She isn't she? Vic's going to have a look, see if we can spot the male for you now. He's probably up
Yes.
doing his dance moves. There he is. He's just crossed over the road. He's on the left-hand side. Yeah, no, that's why they are called the Blackbuck, because the males are much, much darker. And they've also got these curly horns. Now he'll keep his horns all year round. Now one of the reasons we're not allowed on the grass at the moment is because these guys like to hide their babies in the ditch. And they can frequently be mistaken for piles of poo. Unfortunately. But that's how Mum keeps them safe. She'll go and hide them in a little hole somewhere, or a divot or a pothole, and sometimes amongst the rocks. Very gentle, yeah. Very, very nervy as well. Now these guys here, the bigger ones, these are Barasinghas. Now all of our Barasinghas are female. Alright, now if you look very, very closely on the right hand side, can you see that one that looks just a little bit different? She's a little bit smaller, she's got white spots. Can you see her? Her name's Bambi. Alright, and she was hand reared, and she doesn't realise that she's not a Barasingha. Alright, she doesn't know what she is, she thinks she's a Barasingha. When she was released...
Is it the one with white spots?
That's right, the one with white spots. Right, now when she was released, she didn't know that she was an axis deer, and she went running over to the Barasinghas, and they immediately adopted her. Right, now they're a female herd, there's no males amongst them. Right, and they love her and they look after her. She's been with them now for about 14 or 15 years. When we moved the axis deer over to the other side of the reserve, we decided that because she was happy with the Barasinghas, that she could stay with them. Now these guys stood here in the middle of the road are they're a male Formosan deer. Alright, you've had yours. You've lost the ends off your antlers, haven't you, my darling, eh? I don't know whether that's deliberate or whether that's just the way it's gone. Now these for me are by far the prettiest of all the deer. Right, now they're a bachelor herd, because if the females were around they would be fighting, and we don't want them fighting, and also we would be completely overrun with Formosan deer, because when you see the females you'll see that we've actually got quite a considerable herd of Formosan deer as well. Now they're quite lazy, they don't do a great deal. Same with the lions, they spend an awful lot of time asleep.
Have you seen the tiger?
Sorry?
Just see white tiger.
Right, that's our male there, I think. That's Ben.
Have you seen it?
Oh, and he knows it.
Tiger.
He knows it, he does, bless him.
Have you seen it?
It's food day today, you can see the food hanging up. But yeah, he's quite a bit bigger than his mum. I think he stands about 3 or 4 inches taller than her, and his head is about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches wider. And these guys, they only hunt every other day, so it gets replicated here. If you were to feed them every day, all you'd get is fat cats. You wouldn't get them any more active.
He's sleeping. One tiger is sleeping.
Oh, she looks happy, doesn't she? On a bit of a jig. Oh, there she is. There's the female up in the greenery. I think it's up in the ivy there. Can you see her? You can see the size difference. Although she's further away, you can actually see the size difference just in their heads. And like I say, we've got 5 of these guys. Now Tikva, the mother, is the mother to all the other tigers that we've got on here. Or the white tigers, should I say. two are our Asian water buffalo. Alright, now they're really old, bless them. Oh, he's still wearing his jewellery, bless him. He's got a bit of baling string around his horn. I don't know where, well, we do know where he's had it from, but it's going to be quite a game getting it off. The keepers have already been round and had a go, and he's all no, you ain't touching me. These guys are very, very placid creatures. You'll find these in Asia, pulling ploughs and carrying heavy loads, the way we do horses, basically. Very, very placid creatures. And the one closest to us is a male, and the other one is a female. Very, very old. Now these guys normally live around about 25 years. And I think they're probably very, very close on, if not a little bit older than the average. We used to have quite a few of them. They're 8 or 9, and they're our last remaining two. You can open your windows again now, guys, by the way. Now these sheep are from Somalia, but they are not Somalian sheep. I don't actually know what they're called. They look very goat-like, don't they? And I thought they're a lot about our sheep anyway. Some of them have got goat faces, haven't they? Okay, then down in here, guys, we've got our cheetahs. Right now, they're down by the tree down here, which is why I'm coming past these guys here, so that you can actually get to see them. Now these guys can do 70 miles an hour in as little as 4.3 seconds from a standstill. Now to put that in terms you kids will understand, that's as fast as mum and dad go down the motorway, if they're sticking to the speed limit of course, and faster than your average Formula 1 race car. Right, now in here we've got a male and a female, and their mother and son I do believe. Now the only cat that we've found so far that cannot retract their claws, which means that their claws are always out. And because they can do 70 miles an hour, they struggle to turn left and right. So they've got a very, very long tail. And what that means is that if they want to go left, here we go, is the other thread. If they want to go left, they'll flick it to the right, and if they want to go right, they'll flick it to the left. Now when they do catch their food, what they tend to do is they'll take it up into a tree, and they'll leave it up in the tree for around about 2 or 3 days, and they will keep visiting it. And, we do have to be careful obviously because the grass is very wet and we don't want to get swept. But this section does drain quite well. And we're not allowed to get too close. Oh, we've got 9 lions. Oh, we've got 8 females and 1 male. Now the male that's out today is actually neutered, so he's got no mane. So he looks like he's a bit of a girl. You can tell who he is though. He's a little bit darker and his head is a little bit bigger and he stands a little bit taller. Just everything about him is that little bit bigger. And I believe that's him on the far left. The male does usually like to sit right in the middle of everybody. And what happens in a pride of lions is it's the ladies that go out and do the shopping and bring the food back. And they'll bring it back to the male and he'll eat whatever he wants of it. And then the ladies get to eat afterwards. Now obviously because we've got a captive pride of lions, they get fed every other day and they all get the same. And it's all chained around various areas of the park. Of their little area, and that just helps the keepers monitor and make sure that they all get their fair share. They eat around about 2 kilos a day. She's a bit like the grandmother of the group. She loves the pride, but like grandma, when you all descend on grandma, we get a bit too noisy for her, so it disappears in the kitchen. Like, I love you, but I need a bit of space. I'm going to make a cup of tea and some egg and chips. So she likes to she likes to be part of it, but a part of it, sort of thing. Here we go, they are on the left-hand side right here. And Rolo does have his back to us. Yes, the dogs are actually out now. They're on the right-hand side. You'll see them through the fence. Like I say, he's got a very busy job. Bless him, looking after all these ladies and keeping them happy. Most men struggle to keep one woman happy. Can you see the dogs on the right-hand side? There's 14 babies that were born in August, I think they were. And they are almost fully grown, bless them. They make a very high-pitched chatter noise when they greet one another. Can you see the doggies over there?
We went through them and then we got over this.
From here I can't identify which one's Viper. Oh, there's our Sally, bless her. Sally! Come on, sweetie boy.
Oh, bless.
If you do want to feed Sally, you're more than welcome to. Now that's Bruce behind her. And what he does is he tends to push her out the way for the food. Right. Go on, have a couple of mouthfuls quick before he comes and gets you. Right. Yeah. Is he the one responsible? I don't think he's the one responsible, is he? Right? Good afternoon, Bruce. Be gentle. Yes. Right, now Sally will probably come round. See, what we do is we encourage Sally to come to us, because then in the middle of the summer, when it's all blocked up, we can come right down onto the grass and she will automatically come down to us. You know, so then you still get to feed, rather than being asked to move out of the way, right? So if anybody does want to give Sally a feed, beautiful, isn't it, darling, eh? Which one's your baby? Which one's your baby? Are you beautiful? You know, we used to have a camel called Caroline, and I absolutely adored her. And on more than, say, they just push her off, say, which is why we make a point of feeding Sally. Yeah, more than once I got caught leaning on my radio, talking to Caroline. Just chatting away to her, asking how I was and whether I was enjoying the weather. And the Kuzo will be a year old. Good Friday. Be a year old Good Friday, and it's about 10 times the weight he was when he was first born. He's at least double what he was when he was born. He would have only come up to around about where his shoulder is. And obviously, as you can see, I mean, just in the space of a few months, his horn has grown dramatically. Right. Yeah, what that is it's an antiseptic spray. Wow. And it's dye, there's a dye in it so that you can see that, where it's been sprayed and whether or not it needs redoing. Yeah. So like I said earlier, their skin is very, very sensitive. Right. Now, which one is that? Where's our Barney? That's not Barney, that's we don't have Lucy anymore. Lucy went somewhere. That's what I believe. Where's our Barney? Barney is our main man. There he is, round the back. Right, now this is Barney, right, and he's the daddy. He's the daddy. Right, and He's absolutely adorable and he gets beat up by the girls.
Let's see, we should look.
And he was born on the park, and I actually remember him being born on the park. He's 11 years old now. And he really is by far one of the prettiest little rhinos I've ever come across. But the same as the Indian rhinos, they do have very, very sensitive skin. And they do get damaged quite easily. So, again, they've got wallows all over the place. Okay then, if we look to our left, up on the platform here, we've got another one of our white Bengals. Right, now this young man here, this is our Buster. Now Buster was hand-reared by us because his mum didn't do a fantastically good job when he was born. So the decision was made to try and hand-rear him. Now he's in here on his own because he likes to be on his own. He's happy to share the house, he doesn't like to share his outside space. Right, so as soon as he was old enough to start having solid food, the keepers took a step back, and he is 99.9% as wild as any wild tiger should be, yeah. He knows his name, bless him. Sometimes he'll pick his head up and have a look at you when you call him, but most of the time he just ignores you. Okay then, and in here we've got Scraps and Tubs. Right, now these are brother and sister. Oh, there we go, we've got one flat in the back with the legs in the air. Right, now these guys are brother and sister, and the one that's lying on her back has got no tail. Right, and the reason for that is when they were cubs, they were playing, and he got a little bit rough, and he bit her tail so hard that we had to have a vet come in and remove her tail. But she doesn't hold any malice towards him. He's, they spend most of their time back to back or head to tail, usually sharing the platform, which is gone at the moment. I'm assuming they're building a new one because there's a load of new wood being delivered. So it looks like they're building a nice new platform, because it is one of her favourite spots, the platform is. Okay then, and in here we've got two Sumatran tigers. I've got a feel, oh there they are at the corner. One of them anyway.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. If you look along the fence line down here, we've got one just over there on the left, and the other one's up in the far corner. Right, I've got a male and a female. I think that one's the male over there. Simply because he likes that corner area. Right, now these have been together for a few years, and so far we've had no babies. We think that might be because he's not quite old enough yet, or he's not got the alpha male about him just yet. But we still live in hope. There are only 320 of these guys left anywhere in the world. They are critically endangered. And the camels are causing chaos. What we're going to try and do, I don't know whether we'll manage it or not, but we'll attempt to go up the grass.
People didn't feed the camels.
These naughty guys in the middle of the road are mainly girls. These are our Bactrian camels. Now if you look at their humps, they've got two humps. Right, now they're full of fat. There's nothing else in there, just fat. Right, and what that means is that they can go anything up to 3 months without feeding. Right, now the males are the very dark ones and the females are the very light ones. And if you look there, they've got a little baby just in there, see? And she's only about 2 or 3 months old. Right, and these guys are our African elephants. Right, now can you see the one that's on the far right? That's getting himself all tied up with his own feet? That's our baby, and his name's Sutton, and he's 2 years old. He'll be 3 this year. I think in May, but I'm not 100% certain. Right, now the one closest to us is his auntie Latabi. And the one that's in the middle that you can just see now is his mom. Right. Now, Daddy's not about. Daddy is he's a wild bull elephant, but he's still living in Africa. Right.
Does he send postcards?
Yes. And both Five and Latabi were orphaned, hand-reared elephants from over in a reserve in Africa, and we decided to bring them over here and make them part of the breeding programme. And Five is called Five because she was one of 5 that was found all within a week of one another. Because they were short on names, they literally wrote on them on the sides what their numbers were, so that they knew which one they were feeding and all the rest of it. And Latabi was actually found and rescued from the Latabi River, which is why she's called Latabi. Now you can tell the difference between the African and the Indian elephants because their ears are very much in the shape of Africa, which is the easiest way of telling one from the other. If you look at the tips of their trunks, you can see they look like they've got a finger and a thumb, which is something that the Indian elephants don't have, which means they're very, very good at picking things up. One of their favourite pastimes is to strip the leaves and the bark off trees. Both the African elephants, the males and the females, both have tusks. The Indian elephants, only the males have the tusks. Very, very friendly like a dog. Very, very inquisitive like a cat. Super, super nosy and friendly. More than once I've got out of my Jeep only to be greeted with the back end of a nilgai, because that's all you can see. The rest of the nilgai is actually in the Jeep. What you got? What can I get at? And more than once has almost took the shirt off my back. Let's nibble in the
That went right in your eye.
very, very gentle, bless her. You can give these a bit of a feed if you want to. Fabulous little creatures. I absolutely love these guys. This has got to be one of my favourites. Oh yeah, she dribbles. Not as much as Jack or Junior, which are the two of the 3 males. But she's a dribbler. Okay, then these guys here that are lying down and are Pia Davids. Now these are native to China, and just a few decades ago these were only found in captivity. And the breeding programme went so well that Welburn Abbey were actually able to release small populations in small pockets back into China. Oh, Welburn. Oh, I love Welburn. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah. As you can see, the male is just going into rut. Can you see how his antlers are starting? They look a little bit red and they look like they're about to start bleeding. That's not actually painful for them. Although it looks quite painful, it's not. What happens is the fur will come off, they will go back to the keratin, and then they will fall out. That's right, it's the same stuff as your fingernails are made from. Yeah, yeah. They make ever such a strange noise. Well, we're going to attempt to go up the grass here and go around them. That's right. Oh, they're in a lot of trouble, they are. I mean, as soon as the camels see you come and see, they run off. See the jeep's over here now, they've spotted the jeep. Yeah. There's nothing more ungain than a camel that's running, is there? Even the lips flap. They all flappy lipped.
Flapping like tail.
clear up a little bit now.
Why is it running?
Yeah, we've been spotted. Leg it, guys. Right, this young lady here is one of the Gemsbok. Right, now these guys are in here simply because they are so aggressive that if they were out on the reserves, we would have animal injuries, we'd have people injuries, we'd have damaged cars. So we tend to try and keep them indoors as much, well, in an area for their own safety. Yeah. Yeah. There have been attempts made over the years. Okay, now he's one of the smaller of the two type of zebra that we got on the park. If you look at their stripes, they're quite thick. They go all the way underneath their bellies. They're quite short. There's plenty of them. There's absolutely dozens of them on here. And although they are on the endangered list, they're not as endangered as our Giraffes. If you look at the printing on them, it's like a fingerprint. There's no two that are the same. Right, and these guys here on our right hand side, sorry, are our Giraffes zebras. Can you see how they're a little bit taller? They've got more of a bendy back. They're like a stripy mule. The stripes are much narrower and don't go all the way underneath their bellies. Now these guys are much rarer than the other type of zebras that we've got. Right, we're desperately hoping that we'll get some babies out of them in the near future. We've got 2 males and 2 females. And so far they're much too busy playing. And they're otherwise known as the Wasabi tribal pair, and they're held in extremely high esteem with the tribal folk. They're considered a symbol of wealth and prosperity, and they're used as a dowry when the ladies are getting married. All these guys are female. I'm fairly certain they're all female. Yeah, they get on really, really well, bless them. I love the cobra. It sounds a weird thing to say, but they've got a very sweet, very grassy smell about them. I think it's because they've got 4 stomachs. Oh, I wish. Okay then guys, these are our Rothschild's giraffes. Right, we've got 2 hybrid and all the others are Rothschilds. Right, now if you look in the middle section here, right, you can see 3 baby giraffes. We've got 2 girls and 1 boy. Now the girls are named after 2 very small villages in Africa. One's called Embuin and the other is called Imali. Embu and Imali. And the little boy who's been named just this week is called Finesse. And he's been named after the people that set up the conservation programme. Right, now, just to the right hand side of the crush, yeah, so that great big wooden thing, just to the right hand side there, that's our Strider, and our Strider is our tallest giraffe. And he stands at the height of a double-decker bus. Right, and then just over here on the far right is Rufus. Now Rufus is the daddy to the 2 girls. I don't know the daddy to the boys yet. And I was really surprised to see the babies out this morning, particularly for Nessie, considering he's only 10 days old. But like the zebras, their printing is very, very individual, it's like a fingerprint, there's no 2 the same. Right, and ladies and gents, that is the end of the tour. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I hope I haven't bored you to death with all the info. There's still lots and lots to see and do. There's dinosaurs for the little ones, you can feed them to a dinosaur if you want.